Hello everyone, hope you are doing good and staying safe in your home. Here is Rituparna Shaha from Basic Science and Humanities Department of IIE Kalyani. So today I am going to highlight on an important topic from optics, which is diffraction of light. First I am going to discuss about the definition of diffraction, basically what is diffraction, and after that I am going to highlight on the differences of Fresnel diffraction and Fraunhofer diffraction, and then we will reach to the rigorous calculation of Fraunhofer diffraction at single slit, and then we will reach to the condition of maxima and minima. So let's start. Today our topic is diffraction of light, and in this topic we will specially know about Fraunhofer diffraction at single slit. Before that, first we need to learn what is diffraction. Diffraction is basically the phenomenon of light in which light gets bent or light gets departed. Whenever in the path of light there is an obstacle or there is an aperture, what happens actually? Light gets bent towards the corner or the edges of the aperture or the obstacles. Suppose, let me show you the diagram. There is an obstacle in the path of the light. Plane wavefront is there. Plane wavefront means whenever light is propagating through a rectilinear path, then parallel rays are there. The plane wavefront comes, and from the plane wavefront we can show the light are coming as parallel rays. So in the path of the light there is an obstacle, the yellow one, and from the edge light gets bent. Light gets departed also. What is the departure? Basically the departure of rectilinear path. So here light is bending towards the shadow, where we expect only shadow, because behind the obstacle only we can expect shadow or dark region, but in actual case there is no shadow, there is no dark region, there is a fringe pattern or diffraction pattern. So this is the phenomenon, and the definition I am reading again: the phenomenon of bending of light from the corners or edges of an aperture or obstacles and the departure of true rectilinear path of light is known as the diffraction of light. And the second point is there, this is basically regarding the wavelengths. It is due to the superposition of secondary wavelets, because whenever light gets diffracted, there is no plane wavefront, because initially the plane wavefront is there. Basically the plane wavefront is called the single wavefront. From the single wavefront light gets diffracted towards the spherical wavefronts, because this is the superposition of secondary wavelengths after diffraction. Okay, now coming to the next slide. So here I have mentioned the dependence of the bending of the light on the relative size of the wavelength of light compared with the size of the opening. So what is opening there? Basically the opening is the slit width. Suppose the slit width is d. When lambda is comparable to the d, what is lambda? Lambda is the wavelength of the light. So when is lambda nearly equal to the d, then hardly diffraction pattern can be shown. Okay, and whenever lambda is much greater than the slit width, see here the plane wavefront is there and the lambda is much greater than the slit width d. So here high levels of diffraction can form. So whenever lambda is much greater than d, then only diffraction pattern can strongly hold. So now coming to the next slide. So there are two types of diffraction. One is Fresnel diffraction and second one is Fraunhofer diffraction. Basically those are two scientists, Augustin Fresnel and Joseph Fraunhofer. In these two types of diffractions, they have shown the diffraction pattern in a different way. So in Fresnel diffraction, basically the distance between screen and the slit is finite. Then this type of diffraction is called Fresnel diffraction. Here no lenses are required to converge the light. Why so? Because whenever they are at finite distance, light can be easily captured, so no lens can be used. So at the third point, the incident wavefront on slit is spherical or cylindrical. There is no plane wavefront, because from the source light is spreading out. So whenever we are capturing the light without using any lens, then we are holding actually the spherical or cylindrical wavefront, not plane wavefront. In the contrast, the Fraunhofer diffraction tells us that basically in the Fraunhofer diffraction, the distance between the screen and the slit is infinite. So the distance between screen and the slit is infinite. Basically the screen is kept at the infinite distance from the slit. So here at the second point, two lenses are used, that is mentioned. Two lenses means two convex lenses are used to converge the light. Whenever the screen is placed at the infinite light, we need to capture the source of the light, right? So to capture the diverging light or spread light, we need the convex lens to capture the light. So coming to the diagram, in that diagram, the source is placed at the focal plane of the convex lens. Whenever the light rays are coming from the focus, convex lens can make the light rays into the parallel rays. So here the incident rays are taken as parallel rays in front of the slit. So here the incident rays are parallel. Okay. So now coming to the third point, the incident wavefront on slit is plane wavefront. So just we have shown that incident wavefront is the parallel wavefront. Whenever parallel rays are there, so I told you before that for parallel rays the wavefront is always plane, and for a point source the wavefront is always spherical. So here we are converting the spherical wavefront or the diverging rays into a parallel rays or plane wavefront. So now we need to calculate the rigorous calculation to find out the path difference of those two diffracted light. After diffraction from the slit, there are two diffracted light rays which are converging into the point P, and the central maxima is there in the point C, which are basically the parallel rays which are incident on the second lens, and after that they are meeting at the point which is actually the focus of the second lens. So now we need to calculate the total rigorous calculation to find out the path difference, to find out the resultant amplitude, to get the condition of central maxima and the principal maxima, or the principal maxima or the secondary maxima. So now we have discussed the definition of diffraction, and after that the dependence of bending of light on the slit width, and then we have discussed the characteristics of Fresnel diffraction and Fraunhofer diffraction, from which we can easily get the differences between them. And after that the main topic is here, Fraunhofer diffraction at single slit. So in the next video we will discuss in detail the total calculation, the mathematical expression of intensities and the conditions of minima and maxima. Okay, till then, thank you and stay safe.